Yo, what's up, everybody? Back for another Brian Speaks On topic, and right before the new year, new you, that whole deal. That's not really the subject of today. I just want to wish everybody a happy new year going into next year, and but going into a new year and with that whole premise of being a better person, new year, new you, that kind of thing. I kind of want to transition into a topic that kind of branches off of that, because in order to be a better you have to kind of recognize certain things about yourself and reflect and be self-critical of yourself. Now, this leads me into a subject that I don't know who's gonna like it, who's not, but you know me, I still say whatever's randomly popping through my head. And two words came into my head, two very misused words and misrepresented words in my opinion, and those are the words independent and need. Now, of course, that's gonna lead me into kind of like a gender situation, and me being a male, I'm gonna speak from the masculine perspective of something that involves those two words being used by a lot of women these days. Now, the word independent, of course, is kind of like the stereotypical word being thrown around in regards when you stereotype a woman that's proclaiming herself as being a strong woman, a strong independent woman that don't need nobody. That's kind of like the phrase that gets thrown out there a lot now. It gets thrown out there in a positive way and in a negative way, in a sarcastic way and in a affirming way. But that word with women who fit the description clashes with the word need, because need to women who feel that they need to project themselves as strong independent women that don't need nobody kind of represents the kryptonite to the word independent, because need is supposed to represent vulnerability, weakness, patriarchy, and having to need a man for something, and I think the word independent, when used in this description of people, as independent means that you don't need nobody. So the word independent to these particular people who fit this description is independent of the word need, because you don't need nobody. Now, the problem with that, in my opinion, is that you're doing something that a lot of people do in different circumstances, but in this circumstance, you're doing something, you're talking about something that needs not be said, so you're making a moot point. The moot point is that if you're an independent person, yes, you don't need anybody. Like, you could live your entire life without needing someone if you're independent. If you're self-sufficient and you can do it all on your own and stuff like that, then yes, you don't need anybody. But we're not talking about need in the sense of being vulnerable and needing the assistance of someone else. We're talking about need in terms of things like spiritual need, emotional, like in the sense of companionship need. And a companion is not something that you need to survive, to live, breathe, function from day to day. But there are very few people who actually don't need companionship, on some level. Now, does that mean you need to have a soulmate, or do you need to have someone you need to be married to or something like that? No. But I would definitely debate a person that feels like they don't need to have a companion, a spiritual companion, an emotional companion, a physical companion. Biology exists within us. We have physical needs, impulses, desires. So all of that kind of rounds into one ball. But for those who say that they don't need anyone because they're independent, they're making a moot point. It's not about that. It's about needing to have someone in order to cherish certain situations with, and wanting to, be a companion to and for, sharing emotional memories, spiritual memories. And it's not about what you need for them to do for you. You don't need them to assist you or be your crutch in some type of way. It's not it's like people need to relax with the whole giving away their vulnerability card thing. If you're an independent person and you're handling your business, good. That's wonderful. You're supposed to be like that. Welcome to the world of adulthood. Now to translate that as, now I don't need nobody. Well, alright, so you want to be a monk, or you want to be you want to be a hermit for the rest of your life? You want to go live in the mountains somewhere and just be like you want to be like Morgan in The Walking Dead for a little while? He's living with that hermit, being taught how to live by himself. Then alright, cool. But I don't think you should be so pent up about being an independent person and yet still needing to be a companion to somebody. There is a balance in that. You can be an independent person unto yourself and be a companion to someone. I do understand the whole thing about not wanting to be vulnerable and be seen as weak and to be taken advantage of. Yeah, I dig that, man. Like, who doesn't dig that? Who can't relate to that? But the term, the wording and the spirit of the wording of independent, I don't think it disowns the word need either. Like, those two things are not mutually exclusive ideas and concepts. You can be independent and you can still need some companionship. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not making you weak or still a victim of patriarchal society and stuff like that. Hey, man, men need as well. So it's not even a gender-based thing. But again, I'm basically speaking from a masculine perspective, as looking at a lot of women throw those two words out there in that way, in that spirit. There are a lot of women that completely get it too, and they're not ashamed to say, hey, I'm an independent woman, I'm doing my thing, yes, but let me not act like I don't need a man. And not need a man. I'm not talking like, oh, I need you to go fix this cabinet behind me, man, because you're a masculine man. No, like a companion, somebody to cherish. I mean, for women that don't need a man or need another woman, hey, that's a fair thing that goes on too. There's a large demographic of that as well, and I respect y'all on that as well. But just like I said, just something to keep in a bit of perspective. Be independent, man. I encourage independence, but don't be so prideful as to be like, yo, I don't need anyone on the level of being able to have a companion to share your memories with and to build a life with and to share a life with. You're being selfish against yourself, basically. But with that, that's pretty much all I wanted to speak on when it came to that. I wish everybody a happy, safe, blessed New Year. Take it easy, be well, be blessed. And that's it. All right, later.